Watson's first drive went flying out of bounds, so obviously he's heading for a 5, but more realistically probably a 6. Behind him in the final pair, Irwin leading Ballesteros and the championship by 2 strokes as they play their first hole of this 3rd round. But now Nicklaus at the 4th. This for a birdie 3. Never in doubt. So Jack ominously comes down to 2 under, 4 behind the leader, Hale Irwin, who parred the first, as indeed did Ballesteros. They're now on the 2nd tee, where Watson and so many have come to grief before. Ballesteros playing for safety with a 1-iron, and that could be disaster as well. The railway's very close on the right-hand side, and I do believe it could be taking Ballesteros' ball with it. Lots of searching in the bushes. Ballesteros hoping they'll have found it. In fact, I do believe they have, but it's right in the heart of the bush and completely unplayable. Nowhere for Ballesteros to drop it, so the sad, lonely walk back to the tee to play 3. Irwin waiting in the middle of the fairway to play his 2nd shot. The ideal line from the tee is up the right-hand side. There's Ballesteros. This time very safe, up the left-hand side, and bounces just to the very side of the fairway. Now, after a considerable wait, it's Hale Irwin to play his 2nd shot. 436 yards this hole. That's a good-looking shot. And, well, an outside chance for a 3, but a certain, almost certain, par 4. Not too bad at all with his challenger Ballesteros about to play his 4th from the more difficult angle. There's a bunker waiting. Yes, caught the bunker right in front of the flag, and Ballesteros having all sorts of problems here at the 2nd. Irwin on his way to a par 4, Ballesteros playing 5. Look how deep that bunker is. Awkward shot. Just flicked up, played beautifully to within a couple of feet of the hole, but that is 5 strokes for Ballesteros. He'll pop that one in, but that's a double bogey 6 to put him only 2 under par, the same as Jack Nicklaus, and suddenly Irwin has a 4-stroke lead. At 1 under par, 2 British players, Bill Longmuir beginning to struggle a little, but Mark James up ahead, going very well indeed. There's another one straight in the middle. James +3 overnight, now 1 under. And now also back to 1 under, Nicklaus playing the long 7th. 551 yards. It's a 6-iron for Jack. He bogeyed the 6th. What a shot. Irwin and Ballesteros have dropped a shot. So, suddenly, if Nicklaus can get down in 2, he'll be on his own in 2nd place. He might even eagle it. Then he'd only be 2 off the lead. And Jack wishes he'd had another spoonful of porridge. But still a very good birdie 4. And Nicklaus chasing the leaders now at 2 under par.
The middle part of this 3rd day sees the weather deteriorate as the contenders, this is Crenshaw, round the turn. The 2nd 9 at Lytham, with wind generally against, is notoriously tougher than the 1st. And today, those who climb up the leaderboard, like Crenshaw and Watson's at one time 3rd, these men climb mainly through the disasters of others, like Nicklaus, who drops shots at 3 successive holes from the 11th, and like James, who does so at the 14th and 15th. Only Ballesteros birdies the 9th, then plays the next few holes in par. And with Irwin dropping strokes at the 10th and 11th, there's now only one stroke between them.
And that's the position as Mark James comes to the final hole of his third round. He slipped to 1 over, and a wayward drive outside the ropes leaves a difficult second. Across the bunkers, punches it forward. Very good effort from an awkward angle, and if he can get down in 2 from there, that'll be a round of 69, and he'll be only the 6th player to break the par of 71 today. James from the back of the green, long putt, good speed. Yeah, should get his par 4 from there, which in fact he does, and a round of 69, 1 over par. And that's how they stand as the leaders come to the notorious Lytham finish, facing wind and rain. Ballesteros at the 445-yard 14th, in light rough on the right, 6-iron. Oh, and it bounds through the green, leaving him an awkward little chip back. Just 1 stroke between them, Irwin and Ballesteros. And running, also through the back, but into light rough, and he can hardly believe it. Ballesteros, awkward little chip, but what a master he is at improvisation. You can see a fair amount. Ballesteros, awkward little chip, but what a master he is at improvisation. You can see a fair amount hard and a rather cross and agitated Ballesteros. Now Irwin. Just chops it down and lets the ball ease to the hole side. Well judged. And he puts it in for his par 4. Now Ballesteros struggling for his par. No, so that's a bogey 5 for the Spaniard. And Hale Irwin now 2 strokes ahead as they march off to the 15th tee. Beautiful swing. The American Open champion on his way up the 15th. And well up ahead. Ben Crenshaw has reached the final green, but he's dropped strokes at the last 2 holes, and he's now 2 over. This for a 3, and look at it. Just caught the edge and then is cross. Bob Byman playing along with Crenshaw. He's finished at 2 over. Crenshaw holds out. That's a 72 today, also finishing 2 over par. Back at the 15th, the leaders, both with quite long putts to save their pars. First, Ballesteros. Woefully short, and that's the second successive stroke drop to par by Ballesteros. Now Irwin from about 15 feet. Oh, smoothly done indeed. So Irwin leaves the 15th still 4 under, and now he's 3 ahead of Ballesteros.